What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Untitled Gaming Channel. I am AJ Gells. Guys, it is time once more for the weekly show. Yes, I know I have not been very consistent with this thing as of late. I'm getting to the end of my semester, so work and school and everything's kind of ramping up, coming on right here at the end. So please stick with me. By the time we hit mid-December-ish is when things should start getting a little bit more consistent, and my upload should be going a lot faster because I'll be A, at home where my internet is better, and B, I'll actually have plenty of time to eat into this extensive backlog that I have dug myself into. Yes, I know, my fault. Either way, I'm going to be breaking this week's show down into a few chunks. I'm going to try and get as many up today as possible. Excuse me. The only reason I say I'm breaking this into chunks, as you can see, I have 6 stories set up now. Everything today is going to be from IGN. I'm not paid by them or whatever. This is not paid endorsement. I just really like IGN's website. Easy to use. I like the writing and all that, and I was just lazy this week. So everything's coming by way of IGN. I felt like there was something else. Come on, brain. Oh yeah, the reason I'm breaking this up into chunks is just because there was a lot of news this week. Or maybe not news, but a lot of stuff I found interesting. But we're going to start with some Niantic news, go into some game sales, and then end it up with something, well, you'll see what the last story is. So hopping into the news, Niantic buys Evertoon, sorry, to integrate social media into Pokemon Go. Story by Jordan Alleman, IGN. Niantic has acquired the developers behind social media startup Evertoon to help enhance its mobile apps, including Pokemon Go. Niantic revealed the news in a statement on their company blog from CEO John Hank. I'm going with Hank. Hank explains that Niantic gains a, and I quote, wealth of talent and experience, end quote, from the acquisition, and the Evertoon team will, and I quote, help build social systems that will benefit our entire community, end quote. Evertoon's original app allows users to create animated shorts that can be controlled with emoji commands and avatars. The videos could then be shared across a range of social media platforms. It is unclear if Niantic will ever use Evertoon's animated short social network within games like Pokemon Go, though Hank's statement implies Evertoon will be creating systems for Niantic's existing apps. On the Evertoon website, a statement can be found announcing that the app will shut down on November 30th, 2017, as the studio shifts focus to Niantic's mobile apps. Is it Niantic or Niantic? I'm going with Niantic, but I could be wrong. And I quote, as our products and platforms evolve, Evertoon will help build social systems that will benefit our entire community, end quote, Hank wrote. Niantic recently revealed Pokemon from the Hoenn Pokédex will be coming to Pokemon Go as part of an immediate update, and for more on IGN's blah 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 blah. I mean, I don't know what this is gonna do to Pokemon Go, just for the sheer fact that I'm not sure how this is gonna be integrated into Pokemon Go or what these people are gonna be doing. Personally, I'm still really surprised, unless this has changed without my knowledge. Why have they not had head-to-head, player-to-player battles? They have all this gym crap, they have all this stuff, but they don't have player-to-player battles. I cannot figure that out. I also don't get why this... How to put this? I don't get why this game is still going. I was expecting this to be such a flash in the pan. Which it kind of was, because I think support has greatly dropped. But even then, apparently they still must be making money off of this. If people are if they're buying these companies to help support this game, it must have a larger player base than I thought. But like I said, I have no clue how Evertoon is going to what they're going to do with Niantic. If they're just bringing in people and it's going to have nothing to do with the social network capabilities, or what's going on there. But overall, I don't get why you don't work on player-to-player battles. That just seems like such an obvious thing that would be in this game. Moving on. Jeez. Alright, update. Pokemon Go developer Niantic making a Harry Potter game. We'll read the original story and then go back up and read the update. Kind of Tarantino. Well, not Tarantino it, because I would be starting in the middle and going to the beginning. Either way. Niantic Labs, the developer behind Pokemon Go, is reportedly developing another augmented reality game, Harry Potter Wizards Unite. The game will be developed in collaboration with Warner Brothers Interactive's new Potter-focused sub-brand, Portkey Games, according to TechCrunch. Niantic is currently set to release the game in 2018. TechCrunch reports details are scarce, but the game will supposedly share elements with Niantic's first venture, Ingress. The company's follow-up Pokemon Go has been a massive success for the developer, and given how popular the Harry Potter franchise is, Niantic's next game follows suit in adapting a beloved worldwide franchise. Niantic previously confirmed that they had projects in development that were built on the foundation laid down by Ingress and Pokemon Go, but this is the first confirmation of the existence of the studio's next game. IGN has reached out to Niantic and WB for more details on the project. Pokemon Go's crap. Not surprising to see somebody try. I'm really surprised nobody has tried to do a Harry Potter game or Harry Potter something in the longest time. I mean, really, the more recent Harry Potter games all sucked. I remember the old ones on the PS2. Those were actually pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I think it was Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I think that was the one I played way back when. Man, make myself feel old. All right, the update reads, Niantic has confirmed, or I'm switching between Niantic and Niantic, aren't I? Whatever. The company has confirmed that the development of the AR game Harry Potter Wizards Unite and offered some hint of what gameplay will actually entail. Niantic's official description explains gameplay will have players, and I quote, exploring real-world neighborhoods in cities across the globe, go on adventures, learn and cast spells, discover mysterious artifacts, and encounter legendary beasts and iconic characters, end quote. So while it is currently unknown what AR functionality will be included, it seems some mix of spellcasting and beast encounters to some extent. Niantic will be producing the game in conjunction with WB's Portkey Games studio, and I quote, the beloved Harry Potter stories have captured imaginations worldwide for more than 20 years, and soon will turn the fantasy into augmented reality, following fans and their friends to become wizards and witches, end quote, Niantic CEO John Hank said in the statement. Alright. I think this could be cool. I mean, just like I thought Pokemon Go could be cool, and then I think I still think that they crapped on what Pokemon Go could have been, but that's my opinion. Kind of like the last story, we don't have enough information to, I think, make solid guesses as what's going to happen. But I am interested about this adventures. Is this going to be like a quest system? And if it is, how is it going to work? Is it going to be like walk around and find certain beasts and maybe capture them, or is it going to, is it just going to be casting spells, or is it going to be the other stuff in the wizard world? You know, can we collect like herbs and stuff and make potions, or is that going to feed into the quests? Is it going to be trying to find these artifacts, or how exactly is this going to work? I think that is my big question. I'm intrigued. And it seems like an interesting concept, but I think there's a lot of questions there. So, moving on. All right. What the fuck? This page was already loaded. Harry Potter Wizards Unite won't affect Pokemon Go development, Niantic says. Article Alex Gilyadev, also IGN. Niantic confirmed the newly announced Harry Potter Wizards Unite won't affect Pokemon Go development in any way. The developer released a statement on its website today, reassuring fans that even though Niantic, whatever, is excited to be working on Wizards Unite, Pokemon Go will still be receiving updates and improvements. And I quote, we are 100% committed to creating an ever-changing and growing game, end quote, Niantic said. Player-to-player battles. Come on. Make it. Once again, I could be railing against something that's already in existence. Niantic promises more features will be added to Pokemon Go in 2018, with updates coming as soon as next week. And I quote, we're actively expanding the Pokemon Go development team to build many more amazing features in 2018, end quote, Niantic said. promising an update on future improvements sometime next week. For more on Harry Potter Wizards Unite, read about the gameplay and what the type of AR functionality. See, but again, we don't know exactly what it's going to be doing. That's the thing that I'm most curious about with Wizards Unite, is what exactly will we be doing in this game. And again, probably like Pokemon Go, I'll try it for a little bit, but I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm gonna want to stick around with it forever or for long periods of time. So there you go. If you cared about Niantic and Pokemon Go and all that good crap. Moving on into game sales now. Resident Evil 7 sales reached 4.1 million units. Resident Evil 7, Jordan Serrani, AGN, wrote this. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard has sold 4.1 million copies as of September 30th. Capcom revealed the figure as part of its latest financial results, which show Resident Evil 7 is now tied with Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, Monster Hunter 4, and Street Fighter 2 Turbo as the publisher's 7th best-selling game of all time. Resident Evil 5 remains atop that list with 7.2 million units sold. I know a lot of people are going to be sitting there going, how the fuck is Resident Evil 5 the top of that list? Which I will still argue with people. I still think Resident Evil 5, it had its moments. It wasn't as bad as people gave it credit, as people want to bash on it for. But I think it was kind of the halfway step between Resident Evil 4, like the survival horror aspects of Resident Evil 4, and the action game aspects of Resident Evil 6. I think 5 was kind of that halfway step, but I don't think it was completely gone. I think it was still a decent game. Resident Evil 7 was released this past January on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. A gold edition of the first-person horror game will be released on December 12th, the same day as its long-awaited story-based add-ons, Not a Hero and End of Zoe. For more on the latest installment in Capcom's popular horror franchise, read IGN's Resident Evil 7 review and check out screenshots from its upcoming DLC. One, I will not be playing the DLCs. I do not want to poop more pants. Honestly, it's surprising to me that Resident Evil 7 came out in January. Jesus. All in all, it's not surprising to see this game sell well, because I think this was kind of a return to form for the franchise. But I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of people are going to hear 4.1 million, especially when we get to this next story. If you kind of read in my tab up top, you can kind of see what this next game sold. But 4.1 million, I mean, that's not bad for a game like Resident Evil. I don't want to say it's a niche group, but I don't think people love these big horror games as much as they love more action-based games like the next one we're going to talk about. And because I can't segue. Moving on to the next one, the next game we're going to talk about, GTA has sold in 85 million copies. Okay, it's copies. It's not. Oh wait, no. Last one was copies. What's wrong with me? Yeah, the last one was copies. Why did I think the other one was dollars? I'm losing my mind. Also, Jordan Serrani, IGN. Grand Theft Auto 5 has shipped 85 million copies. Take-Two announced today. According to the publisher citing the NPD Group, during its latest earnings report, Grand Theft Auto 5 is now the U.S.'s best-selling video game ever in terms of units sold and revenue. NPD says this is based on physical and digital sales across all platforms. That's not surprising. I mean, this game continues to sit in the top 10 every month for sales. I mean, I'm a little surprised that this game has continued to sell as well as it has, but I mean, play the game. If you haven't played the game, play it and you'll see why. I mean, the online feature, even though it's not my thing, I definitely see why people love it. And then the single player story, in my opinion, I think was fantastic. Some people weren't big fans of the ending, but all in all, I mean, it was a great game. Really fun. Plenty of the heists. I love the characters. Everything. Sold in means copies sold to stores and not sold through, which are copies bought by customers. Take-Two last reported Grand Theft Auto 5 sold in 75 million copies, meaning it has shipped an additional 10 million units since February, despite initially being released over 4 years ago. Rockstar's hit open-world game continues to appear on NPD's monthly list of best-selling games in the U.S., most recently charting 7th in September. According to Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick, GTA 5 has been on 42 out of out of 50 NPD monthly top 10 charts, and the most appearances of any single game on the NPD's rankings. For more blah blah blah, all this stuff you can read there. Right here, this still surprises me that they're not going to do single player DLC for GTA 5, but again, they've made a shitload of money with this game. Not much else you can say about this other than that is damn impressive. That is damn impressive. Moving on to the final story, and I think this is going to actually tick some people off. This is GTA publisher plans to have microtransactions in all future games. Article by Joe Scrubbles, IGN. Now, I think this is kind of a big deal when taking into consideration all of this anger against loot boxes and microtransactions that have really kind of sprung up over the last couple weeks / months. Article reads, Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick has said that his company, which publishes the likes of Grand Theft Auto 5 and NBA 2K, will aim to offer, and I quote, recurrent consumer spending opportunities, read microtransactions, in all of its games going forward. In an investor call as transcribed by Gamasutra, Zelnick explained that, and I quote, we aim to have recurrent consumer spending opportunities for every title that we put out at this company. It may not always be an online model. It probably won't always be a virtual currency model. God, give me a second. Excuse me. But there will be some ability to engage in an ongoing basis with our titles after release across the board, end quote. There's a good reason for that. Zelnick says that recurrent consumer spending accounts for 42% of Take-Two's earnings in the last quarter. He calls it a quote, and I quote, a sea change in our business and transformative, end quote. And I quote again, the business once upon a time, he explains, was a big chunky opportunity to engage for tens of hours or perhaps 100 hours that has turned into ongoing engagement. Day after day, week after week, you fall in love with these titles and they become part of your daily life. One of the things we've learned is if we create a robust opportunity and a robust world in which players can play delightfully in a bigger and bigger way, that they keep coming back. They will engage, and there is an opportunity to monetize that engagement. He continued, there's a lot of room for growth. This is just the beginning. The statement, end quote, the statement comes amidst much discussion around the role and even legality of loot box style microtransactions. Middle-earth Shadow of War added controversially added. God, come on, editors. Loot boxes to its single-player campaign, while EA has changed how loot boxes will work in Star Wars Battlefront 2 after negative feedback from its beta. Others see the rise of the, and I quote, games of service model, fucking hate that stuff, Zelnick's describing as a death knell for single-player gaming. Yes, with the refocusing of the now shuttered Visceral Games Star Wars game, a prime example. Take-Two's biggest upcoming game is without doubt Red Dead Redemption 2, which looks almost certain to include a Red Dead Online mode. There's your recurrent customer spending opportunities right there. Look, if your single-player stuff takes a hit, like if Grand Theft Auto's single-player takes a hit or Red Dead's single-player starts to take a hit, I won't play them. As my, the thing, it bugs me that this, excuse me, I'm not seeing this as necessarily the death of single-player games, but I see it as how to put it. I don't see these games as service models or whatever. I don't see them working in the long term for companies. I think they're seeing right now that they're lucrative. GTA Online, Destiny, stuff like that. I think people are noticing that we can really make some money off of this. But I mean, we have Ubisoft doing stuff like Skull and Bones. We have Sea of Thieves coming out. We're seeing games like these that are, or even Battlefront. We're seeing these really multiplayer-centric games that are coming out, and other games really trying to modify and trying to squeeze out every last bit of money or every last dollar that they can out of their single-player campaign. And now, don't get me wrong, I understand that from a business perspective. These companies are businesses. When it comes down to it, it's
this is always kind of the problem when what's the expression, when art meets business, of where trying to find that perfect balance between the two, because this is the problem between them, is it starts to really tick off a lot of consumers. And now this is also where I'll say something that actually does make a lot of people mad, is when I say that these companies really don't give that much of a crap about us individuals as gamers. I don't think they really care about us. They care about gamers as a collective and how much money that they can take out of gamers, because again, it's a business, and I understand that, and I'm not mad at that. The problem is they still have to find that perfect balance to keep us happy, because if they don't keep us happy, we're not going to buy games. So I think this games as service sort of focus is really going to hurt the industry in the long run. Who knows? I could be entirely wrong. This is just me knowing gamers, knowing myself, and taking a sort of guess. But as far as I can tell, I don't think this games as service model is going to be as big as people think it is, especially when people start to try and really saturate the market with it. Because I mean, you're seeing NBA, like they're saying NBA 2K. 2K has something like that. Grand Theft Auto 5 is going to have something like this. Red Dead's going to have something like this. And like I said, then we have Skull and Bones. We have Sea of Thieves. We have stuff like Destiny. Once we really start to saturate the market with stuff like this, I wonder how lucrative this is going to be for these companies. That is my big question. Personally, I think single player games will always be around, and honestly, and if people want to argue with that with me, I am perfectly fine to argue with it. It's just I don't think that we'll ever see. That's like saying movies will eventually go away, or TV shows or whatever will eventually go away. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, they'll probably change form, but a solid 10-hour story-based game, I don't think will ever go away. Again, it might change a little, it might become less popular, but I don't think it'll ever truly go away. Because I think there's just something about that kind of personal time between you and this character and just the story that these people have written. I don't see it going away. But there's my little probably incoherent rant about that, and I'm actually going to call this one here. Like I said, I'm going to be putting up at least one more of these tonight, and I'm going to try and I'm going to guess this is going to break down into 3 videos. I'm going to try and get the 3rd one up tonight, but it might not happen. It might be up tomorrow. So either way, thank you for watching, everybody. As always, Facebook, Twitter, the website, minds.com. Links to all that stuff is down in the description below. Please remember to like, comment. You're not already. Please subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more next time. Until then, I'm AJ Gels. This is the Gaming Channel. I'm out.